Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an FV207. It's a British Tier 8 SPG and it's located on the south spawn of Prokhorovka under the command of General Disturbance. It's one of my replays again, I'm afraid, folks. Yes, I do put them in every now and then, and when I get a good one. And this one is rather good. Now, it's based on the chassis of a Conqueror tank, the A45. And this one's armed with a 6-inch gun, which is the 152mm howitzer. And game started. Now I've moved through that camp to start with. I always try to do that if I can, knock it down. And I'm headed off to the west side of the map. The skin, by the way, just in case you're interested, is one of Rusty's creations. So Rusty made most of the skins that we use at What Arty Noobs, and this one has our logo on the side. Now, what can I tell you about the FV207? Well, it never got built, it was only on blueprints, but it is quite an interesting RT because it's got quite a fast reload. It's can fire over the entire range of the map, but it's very wide and slow, but not as slow as the GW Tiger P. Well, I've noticed there's a lot of tanks sitting at the back of the map, and that's not very good for us because they should be up at the front or at least further up the field. So I'm going to do something rather cheeky here. I'm going to move over and I'm going to sit right in front of this tank destroyer so I'm blocking his view. And that's going to force him to move because he won't be able to shoot from where he is. And now he has to move up. And what does he do? Moves into the bush next door to me. That's not very helpful. Oh dear. Well, you try to be helpful but they won't listen. Well, I saw a P44 Pantera at the centre line. And I've moved backwards into the bush where the SU-130PM was last sighted in. Okay, they're still sitting at the back, unfortunately, including a defender of all things. But we can see a T-92 a little further off, and he's taken some damage. I'm loaded, rounds out, misses him altogether. So I wasn't really happy with that shot, but I'm still trying to focus on him or the Pantera on the centre line. Well, the T-92 is going back to the bushes. Or is he? No, he's active spotting now. He's going in circles. And when a tank is going in circles, he's predictable. Well, I didn't get him on that shot, but yes, he is going in circles. I can see him going back there again. So if we know where he's going to be, we can work out where to place the shot. And I'm almost reloaded. Looks like he's going to do another circuit. Yep, there you go. So I'm leading him, waiting for the moment. Almost loaded. Here we go. Line him up. Rounds out. Kill shots. It's as easy as that. Yep, sometimes they just are so predictable. You know where they're going to be and when, and therefore you just line up the shell and bang, you get the target. Okay, well, Pantera's moving across the field as well. He appears to be doing what the T-92 was doing. So I fire a round at him and get another hit. 264 this time. Now you can see the reload is 24.24 seconds. It is actually slightly longer because I do have a fairly good crew and a rammer normally on this tank. But a Yak Tiger at the back. He's been spotted by our ELC. Line up a shot, fire one in. Direct hit. 266 hit points. And it looks like I've picked up some stun assists, so somebody hit him after I did. Now the enemy have done rather well because they managed to come all the way over the hill and they're now near our cap area. And I'm just lining up the Pantera for another shot. Round out. And another hit. 281. So it looks like I've got the lead on the target just right. Now they've killed all our tanks at the south end of the railway, but at the moment I'm still focusing on this Pantera. See if I can get him out the game. Round out. And another hit, this time into the engine bay. 303. I can feel his hatred for Arty coming in my direction. He's saying, leave me alone. Well, he's dead now. In fact, he was killed by the T-30. At this moment, I spotted that the enemy were crossing the railway line to the south. I can see a 50 TP lining him up, round out, and it hits the railway line just in front of him, so it doesn't actually do any damage. Okay, the Foch has just been killed, so I've got no target there. I'm now looking at an AMX 5100, almost loaded. Let's see if I can put a shell into him. Round out. Well, it must have been near him, but I don't think that was a hit. Right, we've got a BK4502. And here's that AMX again. It's a good reload speed, the 6-inch gun. Lined up. Rounds out. Direct hit, 252, right on his front. I'm switching back because a defender has come up, and he's come up to the cap area, but he's not actually progressing or sitting in the cap at all. He's angling, or at least he's trying to, but he's over angled actually there. And I'm almost loaded, even though the caps, mods say that I was already loaded. I'm afraid that was a mod fault. You do get that with Aslains sometimes, that it will tell you that you're actually loaded when you're not. Fire at the 4502, and yes, we get a hit. 196 stuns him. He's taking fire, so I'm picking up stun assist. He's got to be somewhere along that course, but I can't see him anymore. There he is, almost loaded. The ELC's doing a good job spotting him, keeping him in sight. Lining up another shot. Round out. Another hit. 250. Now the alpha damage for the quick firing 6-inch gun is 700 alpha. But of course you do need to penetrate for that, and most of the shots I've fired so far haven't penetrated. They probably did penetrate for the T92, but I don't think much for the others. And that ELC is taking huge risks every time he does that, but I am very appreciative of the fact that he is spotting, and I've hit the 4502 and tracked him there. He burned his repair kit and pulling back, and there we can see him again, and the ELC just took a bit of damage, but he did kill the 4502, and that Progetto is after him, and unfortunately he gets him. But the Progetto's finished off by our T30. So we've got a bunch of tanks down at the south, a Yak Tiger up at the north, and the AMX 5100 on the centre line. But all of our tanks are still corralled down in the southwest corner of the map, and this is a very awkward state of affairs, because if I haven't got anybody to spot for me, I can't shoot at things. And that ELC was previously spotting the Yak Tiger up in the north. But now I've got nobody to spot for me, so I've got people pinging the map for us to move forward. And they're saying move over towards the railway line, but of course the FV207 cannot move over there, because if I did, I'd be so slow, I'd be a huge target. So what I do instead is just fire a round at the crossing, because I do have plenty of ammo. That's one thing the FV207 does have, more than enough ammo. And you can notice I'm actually carrying 6 rounds of premium ammo as well, and that sometimes helps, especially when you get a bunch of tanks all grouping together. Okay, loaded again. Just checking, is he going to be at the other side, on the other corner? I have a sneaking suspicion that the enemy might have actually gone back to their own half of the map. They don't know where our other tanks are. The T95 is headed north along the tree line, along the hedges, but we're still focused on the tanks that are by the railway crossing. And just as I pull round to have a look and see if I can spot the enemy tank, and one of them's turned up in the south again, and he's near the railway crossing, so I'm quickly flipping back to that. It's a strip 1030. I need to get a shot straight on target, 332, and I'm backing off because I'm just way too close to that 103. Now they didn't see me, and I did knock a tree down, and I bounced around from a 50 TP. So I was very lucky to bounce that round. I don't know whereabouts it actually bounced off me, but I think it may have been off my side. And the Hawk comes up behind me and tries to nudge me back in place. But I have to move away because if the 50 TP was able to get a shot on me, he must have been guessing where I was, and I don't want to get another impact. Well, we've got CDA in the north, and he's just been killed by the defender. So all I need to do now is I need to find a target I can shoot at. The enemy has got 2 heavy tanks and a tank destroyer and an Arty. Now I fired at the position where the Jagdtiger was last seen, and I'm now looking for the Arty, and for some reason I'm getting yep, there's an obstruction in the way. It's the telegraph pole. So I'm moving position, and it looks like one of our teammates accidentally might have hit one of our own. I think that might be the Hawk actually ran into someone, and the Progetto's coming back to me. Okay. Well, I know the Jagdtiger was seen up there, but I presume the Arty's also in that corner. More than likely he'll be. And I just saw the tracer coming from the back of the map, and I fired, unfortunately, in the wrong place. He was actually behind those bushes at the back of the map, so I've gone to overhead view to see if I can spot him. Looking for that tracer. The Arty's a GW Tiger P. Now that is the correct position I think I should have aimed at before. And oh, I did see a tracer that time, but I fired behind him, not on him. I could have actually impacted him. We'll have to see if I did actually splash him with one of those shots in the end of battle stats. But I presume that the shell landing near him would have warned him that he is now being fired upon. So I fired another round, and that one hit the spot where he probably was the last time. And I can't see any more tracers. And we found the Jagdtiger, dialing in. And I go to standard view, and oh, he's killed before I can shoot. In fact, that was an ammo rack by the defender. So I've gone back to the bushes where I was firing at the Arty just to see if I can spot him. And I believe I switched off my visual cues here to aid my ability to see. And there he is, and oh, he is missing a few hit points, so I probably did hit him, and he's wiped out before I can shoot. We'll see in the end of battle stats if I did touch him. I think I probably did. Okay, we're moving north. It's 4 versus 2 now, but it's still that 50 TP, the one that hit me, and the AMX 5100, and there's the 50 TP, and there's the AMX 5100, and they're close together, and I'll have to go for the 5100 because he's the one advancing on my teammates, and the Progetto is under threat. Round out. It just splashes him, 88 hit points. Now I've lost sight of him, and of course I can't shoot at something I can't see, so I'm going to flip back to the 50 TP, marking him as my target this time. Almost loaded. Just adjusting. Loaded. Round out straight away. And it's a kill shot. Now it's just the 5100 to win the game, and he's 142 hit points. We've only got, well, less than 2 minutes to go. About 1 minute 20 seconds to go now. And I'm waiting for the reload to go in. It looks like he's going to try and run for it. Oh, and he's killed before I can shoot. And that's a win. So let's have a look at the end of battle stats, and we'll see how we got on. It's an ace tanker for general disturbance in the FV207. In fact, it's my first ace tanker in this Arty. So not bad actually. I've had a lot of difficulty trying to ace this one, but this time around got it right. I got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. I got 13. A Gore's medal for doing more damage than 10 times the hit points of my own vehicle. and a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on my team, and a win rate for the game of 5,625. Now, did I hit that Arty? That's the question. Yes, I did. I actually touched him for 354 hit points. So I must have badly damaged him because he actually had 2 critical hits. I must have tracked him. So he repaired his tracks, moved position, and that's why I couldn't see his tracer afterwards. So I was virtually smack on target, but not quite close enough. Not a direct hit. It was just an impact on him. Splash. Now, let's have a look at the team scores. Well, we can see from the team scores, I got the second highest damage, not the highest. The highest damage went to the T95. He got 4,139 hit points. I managed to get 3,558, and then the Foch on the enemy team managed 3,283 hit points. When it came to kills, though, it was the T30, the defender, who managed to get 3 kills apiece. I managed 2, and alongside quite a few other teammates and enemies. And when it came to base XP, yes, I'm top of the table on that one, 1,222 hit points. And the reason for that, I was a tier 8 Arty in a tier 9 game. So obviously, I'm going to earn more XP for every tank I touch accordingly along the way. So let's have a look at the... before I go, actually, I should say that ELC even managed to get a patrol duty and 1,016 XP. So he got the second highest XP in the game. Because he did all that spotting. It was 6,796 hit points. So well done, Cheetah84, for doing that, because you really did help the team by spotting as many people as you did during that game. So let's have a look at the detail report. Well, I only fired 22 rounds in that game, but that's quite a lot of ammunition. 11 direct hits, but no penetrations, funnily enough. I did get 16 splash as well. Damage of 3,558 hit points, of which 3,226 were at more than 300 meters. So I think that hit on the Striv was actually closer than I really would have liked it to be. I did receive 1 hit, but it was a non-penetration. That was the bounce that came off the 50 TP. And I also damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 2 of them, and did 2,077 hit points of stun assist of 14 stuns. On a premium account, I earned 60,347 credits. I got 30,173 credits from personal reserves, and total came to 90,520 for the game. After ammunition resupply, I actually took away 58,900 credits for it. I received 6 bonds for getting the Gore's medal and the Confederate, and I also earned 1,833 XP, 916 from a personal reserve bonus, took away 2,749 experience points down for that one. Well, I said down to the wire, but after I heard that hooter, I thought, oh no, we're going to have a problem trying to hunt 2 heavy tanks down in the short time that we had left, and that's why I was actually moving up from my present position right at the back of the map, trying to get close to the cap, because I had the horrible thought that we were going to have to try and cap out with all of the tanks sitting in the cap at the same time and allowing that 50 TP and AMX 5100 to snipe at us. But luckily, they didn't do that. They actually neglected to do that. If they'd stayed where they were on the center line without being spotted, then they would have forced us to get into the cap, and then they could have ended up with either defender medal or a draw. So I think it was a miscalculation by the other players, the enemy players. But it was a very good demonstration of how the FV207 can be very effective, especially the fact that it has got a lower caliber gun than the ones you'll find in other tier 8 Artys, but it can certainly pump out the shells, and accurately at that. If you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.